You're not behind, but you're about to be. If nothing changes this year, you will still be in the same place next year, opening the same apps, feeling the same pressure in your chest. What if the future you're scared of isn't far away, but already being built by how today looks? Your alarm rings, you don't think. Your hand moves, you open your phone, and before your feet even touch the floor, you're watching someone else live the life you secretly want. The gym body, the money, the freedom. You tell yourself 5 minutes, then 30 disappears, and your day starts late, heavy, already behind. You rush all day, you reply, you move, you stay busy, and at night you sit on your bed scrolling again, telling yourself tomorrow will be different. This is how people work non-stop and still go nowhere. Not in one big failure, but in 1,000 tiny delays. Habit 1 is winning the first 30 minutes of your day. The moment your phone touches your mind before your purpose, your direction flips. You stop building and start reacting. The people who quietly separate don't wake up to the world, they wake up to themselves first. Habit 2 is controlling your input diet. Picture one normal day, headphones in, video on break, messages at night. None of it feels serious. Then one day you try to focus and your brain can't stay still. You try to work hard and it feels heavier than it should. That's not burnout. That's years of noise finally showing its cost. Habit 3 is daily discomfort training. This is where most people turn back. The cold water, the scroll you ignore, the rep you almost skip, the message you don't want to send. These moments don't look powerful, but they teach your nervous system a dangerous truth. I don't need comfort to move. Right now, two versions of you are growing in silence. One chooses easy, one chooses resistance. In 1 year, the confidence gap between them will shock you. In 5 years, the life gap will feel impossible to cross. And here's the part that matters. You're still inside the window where this gap is small enough to destroy. If you keep going, you'll see exactly how people quietly step out of the losing version of their life before time makes the choice permanent for them. You're working, but still going nowhere. Have you ever had a week where you did everything right, worked hard, stayed busy, said no to rest, and still ended it with that hollow feeling that nothing actually improved? What if the most dangerous trap isn't doing nothing, but doing the wrong things with full effort? Picture a normal afternoon. You sit down determined to finally move forward. You open the project. You start strong. Then a message pops up. You answer it fast. 10 minutes vanish. You refocus. Then another interruption. Then another. By the time you look up, your energy is gone, and your best work never even had a chance to exist. That tight feeling in your chest, that's time slipping through your fingers without permission. Habit 4 is deep focus rituals. Not motivation, not willpower. Rituals. The people who pull ahead don't try to focus. They remove distraction before it can even speak. When focus becomes automatic, your output multiplies without you working harder. And the first day real focus comes back, it feels like oxygen. You realize you weren't lazy, you were constantly under attack. Habit 5 is outcome-driven planning. Most people protect themselves with small, safe tasks. They stay busy without ever risking progress. But the one move that could actually change your position always feels heavy. That hesitation in your stomach, that's the doorway, and most people walk past it every day. Habit 6 is energy over time management. You keep telling yourself you'll go all in when you're less tired, but you stay tired, and slowly you shrink your goals to fit your exhaustion instead of raising your energy to meet your future. That's the quiet trade most people never recover from. You don't need more hours, you need heavier moves with a stronger system behind them. Because the real danger isn't that you fail, the real danger is that one day you realize effort no longer works the way it used to. And that moment always comes without warning. One missed deadline, one ignored opportunity, one quiet comparison that hits too hard. That's when the voice in your head changes. And once that voice changes, part 3 begins. Your mind is the real prison. Have you ever noticed how after one loss, everything inside you sounds different? The confidence, the tone, the way you look at your future? What if the moment that really broke you wasn't missing the opportunity, but what you quietly decided about yourself after it? You don't announce it, but it shows up in small ways. You wait longer before starting. You hesitate before speaking. You aim a little lower than you used to. And one day you realize you're no longer chasing what you want. You're only chasing what feels safe. This is how identities shrink without permission. Habit 7 is identity-based decisions. Right now, you don't act based on your goals. You act based on the story you believe about yourself. If the story says I'm always late, you'll prove it without trying. If the story says I finish what I start, your behavior obeys automatically. You don't rise to your goals. You report to your self-image. Habit 8 is silent confidence building. This is where pressure breaks and energy comes back. Real confidence isn't loud. It's private. It's built when you keep a promise to yourself no one else knows about. The rep you finished when your body quit. The skill you practiced when nobody clapped. The discipline you held when quitting would have been invisible. That's where self-respect forms. And once you respect yourself, the judge in your head loses power. Habit 9 is thought auditing. You don't hear most of the thoughts that shape your life because they move too fast. I'll do it later. That's not for me. I already messed this up. High performers don't obey these thoughts. They interrogate them. If a thought weakens your posture, slows your step, or shrinks your future, it is lying. Now here's the breakout moment most people actually remember. You're standing in front of a mirror late at night, phone in your hand, goals untouched, day wasted again. And for the first time, the feeling isn't sadness. It's disgust, not at the world, at yourself, and something inside you snaps. That disgust turns into action faster than motivation ever could. You move that night, not tomorrow, not next week. That first move is messy. It's imperfect, but it's real. And when you feel that proof in your body, your identity updates instantly. You stop feeling like someone who wants to change and start feeling like someone who already did. That's when your mind stops being the cage and starts becoming the weapon. And once your actions change at that level, the next thing that starts responding isn't just confidence, it's opportunity, it's money, it's leverage. Money starts responding to who you've become. Have you ever noticed how money never moves first? People do. What if the reason income has ignored you for so long isn't the economy, but the level you've been operating at? And what if the moment you finally change internally, external results don't just follow, they accelerate? At first, nothing looks different. Same room, same phone, same responsibilities. But something is quieter now. You finish what you start, you stop chasing noise, and then one day it happens. A message you didn't expect, a small payment that didn't exist last month. Not life-changing, not viral, but real. And your chest tightens because for the first time you feel it, money responded. Habit 10 is skill stacking for income. One skill can limit you. Two skills make you dangerous. The moment you stop competing on hours and start competing on output, you become hard to replace. That's when people stop asking, how long will this take? And start asking, how fast can you deliver? Habit 11 is long-term financial thinking. This is where people almost win, then fold. You finally touch momentum and your brain starts whispering, you deserve something now. One impulse purchase, one night of celebration, one careless decision. That's how future wealth gets traded for present relief. And most people don't even realize the trade they just made. Habit 12 is strategic risk exposure. This is where fear and growth stand face to face. Gambling looks exciting because it promises escape. Growth feels boring because it demands patience. But one builds stories, the other builds leverage. The people who actually escape don't chase explosions. They build engines. Now here's the part nobody prepares you for. The first time real money touches your life, it doesn't make you stronger. It tests you. You tell yourself you're disciplined, then you skip 1 week of work, then 2, then you buy something flashy. You don't even need just to prove to someone you've made it. You post it, you get a few reactions, you feel powerful for one night, your routine softens, your edge dulls, and one evening you open your account and realize you haven't moved forward in months. You've just been spending the echo of an old win. This is where most people relapse, not into failure, but into comfort, because money doesn't fix identity, it exposes it. And if your systems, environment, and discipline aren't built to hold growth, success doesn't elevate you. It drags you back down with better excuses. That's why the final phase decides everything, because the last transformation isn't about getting ahead. It's about not losing it once you finally touch it. This is why most people lose everything they built. Have you ever noticed how the fall never feels dramatic at first? It feels small. One skipped habit, one soft decision, one night where you tell yourself you'll get back on track tomorrow. What if the real reason most people lose their progress isn't failure, but slow permission to become careless again? At first, you don't panic. You've been winning. You've been improving. You've been building. You think you're safe, but then routines loosen. Wake times drift. Work starts later. Focus shortens. And one night you catch yourself doing something you promised you were done with. And for a second, you don't even feel bad. That numb moment is where most people quietly lose everything. Habit 13 is environment engineering. Look at your room. Look at your screen. Look at the people closest to you. These are not neutral forces. They are either pulling you forward or dragging you backward every single day. If your environment makes distraction easy, you will eventually obey distraction. If it makes discipline easier, you will obey discipline without needing willpower. Habit 14 is delayed gratification conditioning. This is where freedom is actually built. Fast pleasure trains a weak future. Patient effort builds a strong one. Every time you wait when you could take the shortcut, you're not just building results. You're training your brain to expect more from life. And once your standards rise, going back starts to feel painful. Habit 15 is progress tracking and identity lock-in. Picture this. You're alone late at night. You open a notebook or a notes app. You don't write dreams. You write facts. Today you trained. Today you worked. Today you didn't quit. You do that again tomorrow and again. again. The moment the proof stacks, you stop arguing with yourself. You stop wondering who you are. You know, and when you know, you don't relapse into the old version easily. Here's the final truth. Motivation will abandon you. Discipline will wobble. Fear will return. But systems don't care how you feel. If your growth is built into your environment, your habits, and your identity, you don't need perfect days anymore. You become dangerous even on your worst ones. Right now, there are two futures standing in front of you. One where you slowly drift back into comfort and spend your life explaining what could have been, and one where 5 years from now, you barely recognize the person you used to be. No one will choose for you, and no one is coming to save you from the version of your life you keep allowing. The habits you choose tonight decide who wakes up in your body tomorrow.